Hi, friends. I heard a quote many years ago by the great Charlie Parker, and I don't remember it exactly, so I'm going to totally paraphrase. If anyone happens to know it, please put it in the comments because I'd like to know more detail about it. But it was basically an interview with Charlie Parker, and the interviewer asked something to the effect of, is it important to study music theory? And his response was, yes, learn it all, but then forget it all. Something to that effect. And this has always stuck with me, and I always try to understand, like, what was he really getting at? And to me, what he was getting at was, yeah, it's very important to use your left brain to understand all the things there are to know about this language of improvised music. But then it comes time to play, and when it comes time to play, thinking is not going to help you. Your ultimate goal is to get into flow state, and you cannot do that by thinking. You can only do that by doing. And this is my interpretation of his quote. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it reminded me, I was reminded of this quote after reading a passage from this book, The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. Great book with the tagline of "Embrace Your Higher Purpose." Very inspirational book. And this book, I'm not going to go in great detail about the foundational elements of this book, but just pick out a few things that relate to this quote that I just gave you about Charlie Parker. And that is, Richard Rudd says there are three paths to higher consciousness, all of them leading to absorption or the embodiment of whatever the particular thing it is that you're working with. And those three things are, one being concentration, which is fully left brain, and that's the path of effort, right? You're thinking, you're focused, and you're using your left brain. Another approach is meditation, which is completely right brain, and that's the path of observing without judgment. And the third is contemplation. And this is where the object of your contemplation, with the object of your contemplation, you play with it in your mind, in your feelings, in your intuition. You play with it. And this is what reminded me of this Charlie Parker quote. So there is a particular line in this book that I highlighted that I thought would be useful on this topic. And it says, true intelligence is activated through the patience and softness of the heart, and only later confirmed by the mind. Here you need to be a lover of mystery with a beginner's mind rather than arriving as an expert determined to solve a riddle. I find this very inspiring. And I think for anyone interested in improvisation, this idea of study of left brain is very important to integrate your language, your musical language, and all the complexities that come with it, the physicality of the instrument. You know, whatever your instrument happens to be, there's a physical nature to it. There's of course the mental nature, and you work on all those things. But don't sleep on the play. We call it playing music. We don't call it working music, even though we work hard at it. When it comes time to play, we need to remove the thinking mind and instead tap into the flow state. So this video hopefully is an encouragement to use improvisation as a mindfulness practice. Not to noodle aimlessly, but to embed into your practice routines improvisation without judgment, using that beginner's mind to play. That's what I'm going to do.